They told the men they were being treated. They were not. For 40 years, the United States government watched 600 men go blind, lose their minds, and pass a fatal disease to their wives and their children. Not because a cure did not exist, because they chose not to use it.
To understand how a government medical program became one of the most deliberate acts of human betrayal in modern history, we have to go back to a single county in Alabama in 1932, and to a group of men who had never been given a reason to distrust the people in white coats. That was exactly what made them so easy to deceive. In 1932, America was deep in the Great Depression. Macon County, Alabama, was one of the poorest places in the entire country. The men who lived there were mostly sharecroppers, farming land they did not own, earning almost nothing, with no access to medical care of any kind. When representatives from the United States Public Health Service arrived, offering free medical examinations, free meals, and burial insurance, these men had no reason to say no. Most of them had never seen a doctor in their lives. Free medical care was not an offer, it was a miracle. 600 men enrolled. 399 had syphilis. 201 did not. They were the control group, enrolled so doctors could compare the two. The men were told they were being treated for something called bad blood. Bad blood was a local term used to describe all kinds of ailments: fatigue, aches, general illness. It was a term the men understood. What they did not understand was that they had a specific, serious, and at that time incurable disease, and that no one was planning to cure them. The study's original intention was to run for 6 months. 6 months to observe how untreated syphilis progressed in the human body. Then a treatment phase would begin. That treatment phase never came. The doctors became fascinated by what they were seeing. The data was unlike anything they had collected before. 6 months became a year. A year became 5. 5 became 40. In 1943, penicillin became the standard treatment for syphilis. A single course of the drug could stop the disease in its tracks. It was cheap. It was available. It was being used in hospitals and clinics across the United States. The men in Tuskegee were not offered it. The study doctors made a deliberate decision to withhold the cure so the observation could continue. When outside organizations tried to offer the men treatment during World War II, including the Military Draft Board, which required syphilis treatment for any man being enlisted, the study doctors intervened. They contacted the draft board directly. They had the men's names removed from the treatment list. Not to protect them, to protect the data. The years passed. The men kept coming to their checkups, believing they were being monitored and cared for. They were given aspirin. They were given iron tonic. They were given a hot meal at each visit. And they were told everything was fine. Some of the men went blind. Some lost the ability to think clearly. Some developed severe damage to their hearts. 28 of them were taken by the disease directly. 100 more were taken by complications caused by the untreated illness. At least 40 of their wives contracted the disease. 19 children were born with it. By the mid-1960s, a man named Peter Buxton had joined the U.S. Public Health Service as a venereal disease investigator. In 1966, he came across the Tuskegee study files. He read them carefully, and then he wrote a formal memo to his superiors demanding the study be stopped. His memo was reviewed and dismissed. In 1968, he wrote again. He compared what was happening in Tuskegee directly to the medical experiments exposed at the Nuremberg trials. He said the U.S. government was doing to its own citizens what it had condemned other governments for doing to theirs. He was ignored again. In 1972, Peter Buxton made a decision. He copied the study documents, and he handed them to a journalist named Gene Heller at the Associated Press. On July 25th, 1972, Gene Heller's story ran on the front pages of newspapers across the United States. The study had been running for 40 years. It was shut down within months of the story breaking. Congressional hearings followed. In 1974, the surviving participants and the families of those who had not survived reached a legal settlement with the federal government for $10 million. The same year, Congress passed the National Research Act.
Every study involving human subjects in the United States would now require the full and informed consent of the participants. It took 40 years of documented harm to make that a legal requirement. In 1997, President Bill Clinton stood in the White House and issued a formal apology on behalf of the United States government. 8 survivors were present in the room. They had waited 65 years for those words. The Tuskegee experiment did not end with the apology. Studies conducted decades later found that Black men in the regions surrounding Tuskegee showed significantly lower rates of engagement with medical care and doctors than anywhere else in the country. Not because the healthcare was unavailable, because the last time someone in a white coat offered them free care, they were being watched to die. That is what 40 years of betrayal does. It does not end when the program ends. It outlives the men who ran it. It outlives the men who survived it. Some wounds do not close. They just become part of who we are. Stay with us for more truths history tried to keep quiet.